Hey everyone, welcome to Andy Mac Home Brewing. Today I'm going to be showing you how to brew a stout and also tasting an imperial bourbon oak strong ale, maybe porter, maybe stout. We'll see how it turns out, and we're going to be tasting that and see if we can put a label on it. And I've only been aging it for about 2 weeks, so the flavors definitely have not mellowed together. I'm saving it for Christmas, but I couldn't wait. I got to crack it open and see what it tastes like. So we'll be doing that as well. So here we go. Alright, here's my grain bill for the stout. I have a base of Maris Otter, so 6 pounds. I'm going to give you the 5-pound version of this. I'm breaking it down to 1 pound so I can put it on my stove. So I got a base of Maris Otter under there. It'd be 6 pounds for 5 gallons. Then I have my chocolate wheat right here. Well, actually it's chocolate malt, not wheat. And that'd be a pound and 1.2 pounds. I have rye, which would be 1 pound. And then I have a little bit of Crystal 120 here, which would be 1 pound, and a little bit of Crystal 60, which would be a half a pound. So I'm going to see how that turns out. I don't know. I've never done a stout with rye before, so we will see. Best part of doing 1 gallon is you can experiment all you want. Alright, I got it poured in here. I'm just going to stir this up a little bit. You can already see it turning black. All that chocolate in there. Just make sure there's no dough balls or anything. Seems to be alright. And now we just let it sit. Curious to see what it's at temperature wise. It's 160 when I put it in here. Alright, now it's sitting at it's right about seems to be about 151. It's alright. Not great. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna heat up a little bit of water. Get that nice and hot and then pour it in here. Bring up the temp. It's a good thing about checking your temp. You can always leave the lid open to cool it down, or you can just bring up the temp on some more water. Throw it in here. You're gonna boil some water off anyway, so yeah, we're sitting at 150, which is not horrible, but I'd like to be up 4 or 5 more degrees. So what I'm gonna do, tie this off. Daddy. Alright. That's good. Throw that in there. You see how dark it's already getting. temp on the water I'm going to throw in is 170. Throw a tiny bit in there. I'll definitely bring the water up. Now we are sitting at nice. Right about 153. That's it. Let's sit there for an hour. Alright, here's the boat beer I brewed last week. I think I brewed it on Wednesday or Thursday. And today is Thursday. I was supposed to dry hop this at 4 days with Citra, but I'm horrible at remembering to dry hop things. So now I'm going to dry hop it 7 days later instead of at 4 days. 4 to 5 days supposedly is the absolute best to dry hop, according to John Kinich of The Alchemist. That's what he says about his heady toppers. You can find it online. His views on hopping and when the best time is. I think Chop and Brew, it's in Chop and Brew's episode of him talking to homebrewers. So, we're just gonna toss these Citra into this boat beer. Give it a little aroma. And hopefully it'll work out. It's got a nice color. I'm really happy at how this is turning out. All the alcohol's in there, so sanitation's important, but it's not super critical at this point. You can see the nice color. It's gonna be a nice little bitter, light beer. I want to say the ABV is going to be like 4 or 5, 4.5 or somewhere around there. So, yeah, definitely check out Chop and Brew. That's one of the best YouTube channels out there right now. Currently, that's current. He updates all the time. So, it's probably my favorite homebrew channel. Brewing TV. It's basically just a continuation of Brewing TV, just with Chip and Dono. And every once in a while, the other guys will make an appearance. So, definitely worth watching. So, there you go. Dry hopping my boat session bitter beer that I brewed a couple episodes ago. We just broke a nice rolling boil. Some people say skim off that foam. Don't worry about it. So, here we go. Let's throw in some Willamette hops at 60. Boop. Nice. Not too much of a foam up. We're doing good. Alright, 30 minutes throwing in crystal. Look at that dark color. I don't know if you can see it. Nice stout color. Great winter beer. Well, here we are. It's been 2 or 3 weeks after bottling this. It's a imperial stout porter strong ale, bourbon, oak chip creation. It's got good carbonation in it, which is nice. Hopefully the flavors have blended together. I doubt it. Nice head. This was the last bottle I bottled, so it's got extra yeast and junk on the bottom, so I'd expect it to be a little more carbonated. Man, this head is really nice. The alcohol content is, I can't remember what it was. It was high eights, I think. So I was trying to get it higher than that, but I didn't really get it up that high. Can't really smell the bourbon too much. It's got a little bit of a fruity flavor. Not flavor. Fruity notes in the nose. Tiny bit of bourbon comes through. This was the first time I had been experimenting with bourbon and oak chips, so I didn't really know how much to do, so I went with the lighter side. You can always put more in next time, but once you overpower it, you can't really take it out. It's got a very, not overly powering fruity smell, but it's in there. Cherries or, yeah, cherries a little bit. I don't think it got contaminated. I soaked the oak chips in bourbon for a day or two. All right, let's see how this tastes. That's good. Flavors melded together a lot more than I would have expected, which is pretty sweet for 2 weeks. It's got a very roasty flavor on the back end. Tiny bit of bitterness. That'll wear off though by Christmas. It's November, I don't even know what today is. In the teens. Thanksgiving's next week. So by the time Christmas rolls around, this will be nice and sweet. Not overpoweringly sweet, which is nice. It's got much more roasty, bitter oak flavor to it than. I'm surprised it's not fruity, which I'm so glad, because usually that means there's a little bit of contamination, usually from the oak chips. That's why sometimes if you buy like a oak barrel aged something, it will have a slight cherry soury flavor from the bugs that are in the wood getting in there, and then after however long it's aged, they kind of get into the beer and you end up tasting it. This is great. Man, this is good. I could enter this into a competition. Hopefully, I might have to save 2 bottles and find a winter competition to enter this in. It's not overpoweringly boozy. It's nice and roasty. Slight bourbon. You don't get that overpowering bourbon flavor that you get from a lot of bourbon beers. The oak is in there nice. And it's like an oaky flavor, not so much creamy light oak that you get, but it's a bitter wood. But not too much. Everything's mellowed real nice. I'm curious to see how this will taste in a month and a half when Christmas rolls around. So let me see if I can show you this color. There you go. Nice and dark. Tiny bit of light brown. Yeah, this is definitely porter stout. This is a nail. This has the roast to be a stout. It doesn't have that smooth creaminess of a stout, but it's got that roasty backbone that I love. So there you go, a successful bourbon oak chip homebrew. Just message me if you want the recipe. I'll give it to you. I'm not a stickler for secretive recipes. You just I'm all about sharing the love. So if you want the recipe to this, this is a solid beer. Definitely message me, leave it in the comments below, hit like, hit subscribe, and if you brew this, let me know what you think, because I am loving this. This is probably my second favorite home brew I've ever brewed, and I've only been brewing for 3 years, so take that. Actually 2.5, so take that into consideration. But this is really good. It's like a imperial version of a porter that I put in a contest. I got second place for a porter, and this is like an imperial version of that porter. It's good. Alright, here we are. Just finished up the stout. Going into the brew closet and finish up another day of brewing. Hit like, hit subscribe. I'll see you next week.